Hello and welcome to Market House, the podcast where we talk all things Disney. My name's Caleb.
And I'm Caitlin.
And this week we talk about our new Costco ticket deal.
F1 and Disney collab.
And we share our top 10 queues at the Disneyland Resort. So let's dive in. All right, and this is episode number 178.
Welcome back, as always, everybody.
Welcome back. We're back.
Yes, we are.
Another episode. Another episode to talk about our favorite place on the planet, Disneyland. Isn't it wild? It's been 178 episodes since we started this thing.
I know, we're almost to 200.
Almost to the big 200. 200. Yeah, it's been wild. It's been a wild ride. Met a lot of fun people on the way.
Along the way.
Along the way.
Yeah.
There it is.
Both are fine.
Yeah. On the way to reaching 200. Yeah, amazing community of people. There's like huge, what do you call it? Content creators, podcasters, Instagram people that are very pleasant and awesome and way nicer than you would expect them to be in person. And then there's also like a lot of the smaller like us and other shows, and are just like, you may not, they may not have giant followings and stuff, but again, very, 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 very pleasant people. I don't think we've encountered one person that were like, they're meanies.
No.
Yeah, they're all very kind people. It's a very fun community to be part of. It's cool and fun because there are so many stories I hear online about other communities of content creators and stuff. I don't know. I think social media, you mess with the Instagram stuff more. It gets a little more nasty over there. A little nastier in the Instagram community. A lot of just like, what are we doing here, folks?
Yeah.
But we haven't encountered that much.
No. Everyone's been very pleasant. And again, I know we've said this multiple times before, but we're also just so thankful for you guys over on Instagram, not just listeners of the show, but just people that follow us and support us over there. Your DMs and your comments and you're checking in. It means the world and it doesn't go unnoticed. So thank you so much.
Yes, everyone, both on podcast side and the IG.
Yeah.
But hey, let's get into this week's show. Patreon, markethousepodcast.com/support is where you can find out more information about that. You get bonus content. If you want to support the show directly, it is an amazing way of doing that. It's less than a cup of coffee every single month, and you get bonus content. Again, you support the show directly, and you'll get our thanks on the airwaves. We'll read out your review if you leave one. Where am I going with this?
Well, we were talking about Patreon.
I've skipped ahead. Patreon. We'll also shout you out if you join us over there. I'm just in a shout out kind of mood. Let's get into the reviews. Speaking of reviews, leave us one on Apple Podcast and or Spotify. Both are a huge help to the show. On Spotify, you just you click the 5 stars and you're done and go about your day. On Apple Podcast, same thing. Hit that 5-star, and then if you have a spare 2 minutes, write a nice thing about the show. That would mean the world to us. We'll read it on the show, and we'll be forever in your debt.
And even if you don't even have 2 minutes, it can be a 30-second review. Just a review would be nice.
Good, period. Pretty decent, period. No, we'll take anything at this point. So thank you so much. But before we dive in, we didn't really do, a week. I'm all flabbergasted. It's been a long day.
Well, I'm ready for the week recaps.
Sorry, yes. We woke up very early. It was Monaco weekend, so we woke up for the F1 race. We're not an F1 podcast, so we won't spend too much time on this, but woke up especially early to watch that because it's over in, you guessed it, Monaco. So different time zone, and I'm exhausted. So that's where my mind's at right now.
It was so worth it. Such a great weekend. Great turnout. Great team win.
Yes,
the whole thing. I could talk about it for hours.
Yes, so that's what we've been doing today, hanging out at home. And then I went out really quickly to grab some dinner for the family. And I was telling Caitlin, I always miss you guys when I leave, when it's just by myself, right? Vice versa. When you leave to go do something, I always miss mom, whatever. But I was able to listen to like my own music, which was awesome. It wasn't Miss Rachel. It wasn't Moana. What else are we listening to? Friend Like Me.
Oh, she loves the Aladdin soundtrack right now.
Yeah.
Anything and everything.
Anything Disney, anything Miss Rachel, that's what needs to come on in the car. She calls her Zhizha. Can't say Miss Rachel yet, so it's Zhizha. And if I don't put it on immediately, it's Zhizha the entire drive. So
she loves her songs.
We try to find a balance of mommy and daddy listening to music. Maddie can listen to music. We got to find a little compromise there. But anyways, I was listening to my yacht rock, my Hall & Oates.
Yacht rock?
Hall & Oates. I was listening to some Orleans. What else was I listening to? There was some Toto in there.
Toto, I know.
Yeah, it was good.
Wow, that's great.
It was really fun.
It's really nice to be able to do that. And plus, you can crank it a little louder.
I don't know about that. I'm a responsible driver, and I want to hear my surroundings.
I love my music. Well, I'm pretty sure I'm deaf, so I have to crank it pretty loud.
Yeah. Sometimes you get a little surprised when you get in the car after Caitlin's been in there.
No, I always turn it down.
Yeah, sure. All right, let's get into the news.
All right, for our first news story, we have an exciting new way that you can save some money at the Disneyland Resort over at Costco.
Costco, my favorite and least favorite store, because
Yes.
every single time we walk in, it costs $300, and also my favorite because you get to spend $300. So it's like it's both great and not great at the same time.
Yeah.
They get me. So the necessities, of course, make up 80% of the cart there, but there are little extras where you're like, oh, I needed a new hose reel for the side of the house. And oh yes, I forgot I needed a new trampoline. And so you end up buying stuff. We didn't buy a trampoline, but
No.
you get the point.
Yeah.
You get a bunch of goodies in addition to the meat, the eggs, the cheese, all that other stuff. So anyways, Costco, our favorite spot. You can purchase a 3-day park hopper with Lightning Lane multipass for each day and a $30 dining card for $450.
This is an amazing deal.
This is an insane deal, especially during what you would figure is a very busy year, celebrating the 70th anniversary of Disney. Let's talk about the facts about these tickets. They can be used through December 19th. I think the date started May 20th. We're well into the time period in which you can use these. So don't worry about that. Just worry about December 19th is the end of the time period where you can use these tickets. No blockout dates, so you're not blocked out for Thanksgiving. You're not blocked out for certain weeks of summer. You don't have to worry about that. You can use it anytime during those dates. Like we said, a great deal. I believe, though, the only caveat, the bummer, is that they're only available on the West Coast, from my understanding. So California, Oregon, and Washington are the 3 states these tickets have been found in warehouse. You cannot buy them online. You have to go to your local warehouse to find these tickets. We went the other day, and they were right there in the front.
Yeah. I also did want to mention, with the no blockout dates, you still need to secure a reservation, right, as a ticket holder.
Good question. Didn't they get rid of? No, they got rid of the
Okay, I could be wrong. I just want to make sure.
Yeah. So, okay, sorry. Little context here if you're new to the show. We've had Magic Key holders for years and years and years, so we haven't done the ticket thing in a long time.
Yeah.
And I'm forgetting if they got, so for Magic Key holders, currently you still have to get park reservations.
Okay.
I'm almost positive they got rid of the ticket reservations.
You're probably right. Just
Yeah.
double check.
Yes, but double check.
Yeah.
I priced this out on Disneyland, so I wanted to see how much this would cost if I did something similar on Disneyland's website versus this deal. So keep in mind that $450 price tag. I priced it out for a weekend in July. Came out to $601,
Whoa.
not including the $30 dining card. So you're essentially saving around $180 plural per person with this deal.
That is nuts.
Insanity, dude.
I love that they offer the Lightning Lane, like, in addition to the dining card, which is pretty helpful.
Yes, it is. Especially if you're planning on it. I know if you weren't planning on getting Lightning Lane for every single day, this may be like it's okay.
Yeah.
But again, during the summer, if you're going to go in the summer, even like honestly, any of the dates. So May through December, it's going to be pretty busy because kids are out of school for the most part. And then you got the holidays coming. It's going to be pretty packed. So this will come in handy, especially since it's so heavily discounted. It's
Yeah.
nearly free at this point with the price tag. So if you're planning a Disneyland trip in 2025, this is the deal to grab. So if you have the ability to buy these, go do it. If you're waiting for 26, definitely check out the episode description for our info on Getaway Today, because those are going to have the best deals for the following year. I'm not going to like lead you astray just because we partner with Getaway Today. The Costco deal is very good, and it's very hard to beat. I don't think they have it. I think right now they have like adults for the price of kids, which is still a great discount. It's just not the Costco thing.
But go to Costco.
Go to Costco if you're going this year, but if you're going to go next year, don't be too bummed out. You'll get a deal with Getaway Today.
All right, for our final news story, we have an announcement from Disney that is amazingly spectacular in every single way. When I saw this, I literally, I don't even know what I was doing. I literally stopped everything and be like, Caleb, did you see the news? And we had so many of you guys message us on Instagram, but F1 and Disney are collabing. And if you're like, what does that even mean? Caleb is here to tell you.
No. No one knows what it means.
No one knows what it means.
That's the thing. It was a very vague announcement. It was an Instagram post that basically said, we're collaborating, we're partnering up for 2026. They stated, there was also an article I read, really, again, a very short one, with not much information, stating that F1 fans are skewing younger, so a Disney partnership makes sense at this point. I don't know.
It's all because of the Netflix deal, I think. And they also mentioned, in addition to like the, hey, we're collabing, they showed Mickey next to an F1 car that was all like wrapped in like Disney.
Yeah. Again, what does that mean though? That doesn't mean anything.
I mean, all I hope
it was a cool picture, but like, what does that mean?
Well, video. Well, they had like a video of them. So I'm like, obviously, I doubt very seriously Disney's going to be racing. So I'm hoping that it's just going to be
the Disney
it's like
team.
Mickey. I really hope that they're going to just release some merch because I would love that. That would be amazing.
Yeah, the announcement was very vague. They did say content and experiences will be tailored for Disney and F1 fans. More information will be released in the coming months. Again, a very weird announcement to do it this early on because clearly things aren't like maybe confirmed yet. Some contracts haven't been signed. I don't know if they had to drop dead yet for the announcement. It's just there was not much to talk about. So again, excited because you've got F1 and Disney fans over here. If you have not watched F1, I think it's getting very popular, like Caitlin mentioned, from the Netflix documentary Drive to Survive. That's how we really got into it back in 2017, 18. Now it's been years. But it's a fun sport. So again, it's very cool, but it may be a very niche audience for this collaboration. All right, and that brings us to our main segment of this week's episode, and that is the top 10 queues at the Disneyland Resort.
I'm super excited for this one.
If you're not British, that's a line.
Okay.
If you're in a Disney, you know we call them queues. But yes, Disney lines, Disney queues, these are I would argue, some of the most themed areas of the attraction. These are very important because we all know this. You're waiting in them all stinking day, especially if you're not buying Lightning Lane and you want to save those bucks just like this guy over here. I'm waiting 45 minutes for freaking Monsters, Inc. So
no, you're not.
You're right. That's the one I'm always like, I'm fine, I'll buy it. It's $400. Fine. No, I'm just kidding. But that's the one that gets me. But I will wait a very long time in Indiana Jones and some of these other queues because they're so well themed. It makes the wait a little easier. So I thought it'd be fun. We thought, actually Caitlin's idea, I'm not going to take credit. Miss Caitlin over here thought it'd be fun for us to rank these attraction queues because they are so well done and there are so many to pick from that I think it'd be fun to pick our top 5 for each land. So top 10 for the Disneyland Resort. We're going to pick 5 from each park, which is Disneyland and California Adventure, if you're not familiar with this coast. But this is what we're going to do.
Let's do it.
Okay. Let's get into it. Let's start over in Disneyland. Let's go from 5th to 1st. So we'll go bottom up.
Okay.
Let's get into it.
You want to start?
Sure.
Okay.
Number 5, we have Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
First of all, I have to say that Disneyland was really hard for us to put this list together, especially when you're only choosing 5 attractions. So
there are some great queues in Disneyland, right? And this one's so stinking well done because of like the random, if you've been through it, you know it's first of all very, very long. And so there's a ton of stuff in there to keep your kids entertained and adults alike. Like fake movie props from Mickey and Minnie's film history. Very, very cool. Again, all fake. And like in this world of, in this attraction, they're like movie stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like this queue does a really good job at kind of distracting you from the wait because I feel like we waited like over an hour the first time we went on it.
The first time, yeah.
And the queue is very deceiving because it looks like, oh, you're almost there. And you're like, there's...
I'm sorry. You just walk immediately inside the building. There's very little outdoor. It does get that long, very rarely though. Most of it's inside, so you think, oh, I'm about to board. Right? No, you got a while.
Yeah, and there's so many things where like you have to stare at for quite some time. Like when Mickey's raising his Sorcerer Mickey hat, like things happen, or like a ghost will appear in like the mirror. So there's so many things that kind of keep you engaged, and not just adults, like young ones as well. I just really appreciate that, especially for usually a ride that's kind of long, at least 45 minutes every time that we've went. It's nice to have something that's going to keep you engaged.
Agreed. So very well done, Imagineers. I feel like they totally could have just, again, slapped some hallways and some AC and called it a day.
Yeah.
That's what it kind of feels like at some other parks. And sometimes, we'll talk about it in a little bit, California Adventure. But this is so well done, and we loved it.
All right, number 4. This is one of my favorite rides, and it's going to be dun, 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 Rise of the Resistance. This queue, I can't even tell you. First of all, the ride is just absolutely amazing. When Caleb and I were compiling this list, when we mentioned this one, we're like, when you think of Rise, you think of, okay, all the things that start before the actual ride when you get into the ride vehicle. And when you think about all the cast members that are in character and all the things that you see, like would you call them like little mini shows almost, like with Kylo Ren and basically forming the story prior to getting on the ride vehicle? Like that is technically all the queue.
That's true. That's not
right?
really the attraction and yet. I mean, you can argue it is part of the attraction, but it is time that you're waiting, right? It is part of waiting for that vehicle.
Exactly.
Is in that showroom, walking and seeing all the
stormtroopers.
Yes, the stormtroopers, and including the cast members that scream at you and yell at you to get in certain lines.
So good.
Because they're in character. It's amazing. But anyways, that's all part of the queue, I would argue. And so, like Caitlin mentioned, that big stormtrooper room, that is like that it deserves a spot on the list. Even without the rest of the queue, that should be up there. So
I agree.
We think it's awesome, very highly themed, and again, it makes the wait much more enjoyable. Number 3.
Number 3 is a classic.
Speaking of Star Wars, we're going to head over to Tomorrowland, everyone's favorite land in Disneyland. Hasn't been touched in 1987 or whatever since it was. Star Tours.
Yes. And for those of you who are like, over Rise, and we're just going to say yes, because when you think of Star Tours, Star Wars, whatever you're thinking of, this is like the most nostalgic ride queue like you could ever imagine, at least according to us. When you walk in and see that, I don't know what it's called. What's it? A ship kind of thing?
Yeah.
A cruiser?
Yeah.
And you see C-3PO and R2-D2. Like that is the most nostalgic thing to me when I think of being young at Disneyland, like a little girl.
I think of the old one with Rex. Remember? The one previous to this version.
Oh, no. I thought Rex was still there.
No.
Oh, gosh.
No, now C-3PO drives the ship.
Oh, okay.
No, it used to be Rex. But no, it was a...
Yeah. And then the big screen in there.
Yeah,
and
so
then
good.
like the people that are doing like the controls up at the top.
Yeah, they're like, now boarding,
So good.
something to Naboo.
Yeah.
So well done. So again, I think this was the first experience, one of the first of a highly themed queue. That's why it sticks in my head as one of the best. And when you're walking through, there's some droids working. And again, for it being that old, very well done. So Star Tours is great. It does feel like a terminal in space.
Yeah, amazing. All right, for number 2, we have Haunted Mansion. Now, for those who don't know, I'm sure all of you do, the queue just got redone outside of the Haunted Mansion, so all that got redone. They added quite a bit of elements to the ride queue, but inside, I think, is where it really takes the cake. When you do the whole entry scene, and you're going through and listening to the ghost host, and then you're walking down the hallway with the paintings.
Yeah, and let's just start in it is a functioning elevator.
Right?
It is lowering hundreds of people.
Yeah.
In an elevator to get you below the railroad, and you go through. It's so well done and so amazingly themed. And you're right, it just sets the tone for the rest of the ride. Hearing the ghost host, and then you walk through that hallway where there's a storm going outside.
Right. Because can you imagine just getting on, like basically walking into the mansion and then just getting on a doom buggy? Like how weird would that be?
I think it would be the worst ride in Disneyland. Just kidding. No, but you're right. I mean, it does. It lets it simmer. It sets the tone. And you know what to expect at that point.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
It's great storytelling.
It's so good. It's so dark. Again, it could be very bright outside. You're technically underground at that point, going through that tunnel, right? No, you're not. Maybe you are. They have a, yeah, you are. I just get tripped out because there's an emergency exit, and I'm assuming that goes outside, but maybe it doesn't. Maybe it goes to a hallway.
I think so.
That you take stairs.
Yeah, because you're going underneath the railroad.
Yeah. So you haven't made your way up yet.
Yeah, and then also the elements of like the thunder and like lightning on the windows as you're walking through the hallway. Like it's just so awesome.
It's so well done.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Haunted Mansion goes without saying, a very well done ride.
Let's get to number 1.
Number 1, drum roll, please.
My favorite.
Indiana Jones.
You guys, I don't think anyone could fight this. This is literally the best queue ever.
It is so good. I think this is the gold standard. I think it's the best queue, in my opinion, ever done.
I think so too.
Right?
Yes.
It's so good.
The only one that might come near it would be Flight of Passage.
Incorrect.
Well, all right then.
Yeah, I don't agree. Because Indiana Jones, I don't know. It feels better. I've got really no reason other than it's just better. So again, you're starting off outside. It feels like you're in Costa Rica. I don't even know where you're supposed to be. It feels Costa Rica. It feels, I don't even know. Where are you supposed to be in Indiana Jones? Asia? I don't know. It feels very well done. The big trees, the statues of snakes in there. And then you walk through that thing. There's a whole lot of language that you can learn. They used to give out the little things to translate it.
See, I've never seen those.
Not anymore. I think you have to ask for them. But anyways, you used to be able to translate the thing. So these hieroglyphics that you can keep you entertained. Again, you used to have functioning showpieces that would exactly the ceiling that would lower and don't step on the diamonds. Or it was just so
good.
So good. And then you've got the big section in the middle there with the well, and you can pull on it. It says don't yank on rope, and you can do it. And you hear the guy fall.
Yeah.
It's just so stinking good. Then you've got the projector show. Where it's a safety video, also setting some lore and some story, and then some zigzaggy cue to the ride.
Yeah,
it's just so good, right?
I agree. It's my favorite ride.
Yeah, there's not much more to say about it other than it's just so well done. It feels like you're there, and again, it feels like it's a mile long. So it's just impressive. So that is our list for for Disneyland. Indiana Jones at the top, Haunted Mansion 2, Star Tours 3, Rise of the Resistance 4, and finally Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway at 5. Let's head over to California Adventure. Let's talk about number 5.
Number 5 is Grizzly River Run. Now, for those of you who are like, there's not a lot of theming when it comes to this attraction or this queue, we would have to say that there is because of the ambiance that you're surrounded with and the storyline as you're going through the queue.
Yeah, again, DCA was harder. As you can tell, it was kind of more slim pickings because there aren't as many great queues, in our opinion. Let us know if we missed something. But again, you think of the Incredicoasters, kind of concrete ramps that lead up to the roller coaster.
Yeah.
Fine. You think of Goofy Sky School, same thing.
Well, it's when you have Indiana Jones and you have Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway over there at Disneyland.
Sets
and then,
the tone.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, and again, spoiler, Ariel's not making this list because same thing. Concrete things looping around, and then you've got one little turn inside, and then you're on the attraction. So they're decent. They're fine. They serve a purpose.
Right.
Just not highly themed. So just keep that in mind with this list. Okay, like Caitlin mentioned, Grizzly River Run, the ambiance. You hear the waterfall. You hear the click, 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 click of the ride vehicles. It does set the tone of you're on this like kayaking adventure. It feels like you're in Sequoia National Park or the Redwood, whatever. I can't think of all the national parks. Yeah, whatever. It does feel like you're there because it's so well done. They've got fully mature trees in there, tons of water, and the perfect music to play. It's just beautiful. So it does feel like you're at camp, and I just think it's well done.
Yeah.
I don't know. For an outdoor attraction, for a water ride, I think it's really well done.
Exactly.
Okay, let's head over to number 4.
Number 4 is Monsters, Inc., which is Mike and Sully to the rescue. This is our favorite. For those who have been here for a while, you know that this is a must ride every single time that we go to Disney's California Adventure or Disney California Adventure. Now, for those that we just mentioned, basically that the outside of the queue is very zigzaggy, right? And it's almost one of the worst queues when it comes to Lightning Lane. As Caleb mentioned, he always gets suckered into buying Lightning Lane in this queue because we stand there for about 25 minutes and we don't move. And he's like, I'm done. And it really is the worst because every time the cast member comes on, they're like, hey, it says 30 minutes, but Lightning Lanes, you're going to be here for an hour and a half, that type of thing. But when you get inside the actual building and the whole building is just themed to Monsters, Inc., you have like the Harryhausen's menu. You have like the little, what are they called? Not phone, they're phone books, but like where you can talk on the phone and like the little monsters like screaming.
Payphones?
Payphones.
Yeah. And I was like, what are those things you guys used to use back in the day?
Just like the overall, and then like the vending machine that you get the, like the monster snacks. And it's so good.
It is well done. Tells a story inside, like we said. You've got that video thing going, that video reel going to show you what the scare floor does. I don't know. It's just really good. Just really well done. Kids like it. Keeps them entertained for the most part. And again, we're going to mention Slim Pickens here again because we're setting the tone. Okay, let's head over to number 3, Toy Story Midway Mania.
Such a good ride.
So good. You got Mr. Potato Head out there when he's working. I feel like half the time he's not.
Really?
I don't know. I feel like sometimes when I walk past, his eyes aren't working.
Oh.
Something kind of weird. Because like the rear projection, they work half the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, really well done that. And then also inside, tell some story, I think. Right? I don't know. I haven't been on that ride in forever. But
it's not as like overly themed, but I love like the open air concept where you're outside for a lot of it and you're kind of weaving back in and out, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And then again, the music of Toy Story sets the tone and you have plenty of time to listen to that beautiful soundtrack.
Yeah. And once you're getting into like the main building where like the ride vehicles are, it's like all themed inside of there instead of like those random buildings that you like circle through like towards the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all we have to say about that.
Yeah.
That was short and sweet. Number 2.
Not our favorite ride, but it's a really good queue. It's Web Slingers.
I rip this land a lot and this attraction because it's not my favorite, But like Caitlin
Yeah,
said, Web Slingers is pretty good.
I do think it's a very unique ride. It's not like it's a terrible ride. It's just not our favorite. But the queue alone, there are so many things to look at and just keep you entertained by reading things, observing things, which I really do appreciate because, again, as you mentioned, these lines get really long. So having something that you can just stare at or kind of look for something new in every room, like it's really great. And
Yes.
especially Tom Holland.
Tom Holland, of course. I'm sure you love Tom Holland. You love the Spidey attraction.
Well, not really. But I mean, Tom Holland's cool.
You're like, for some reason, I really want to go on the Spider-Man ride today. No other
I
reasons.
wish it was Andrew Garfield, but I do like Tom Holland.
Tom Holland hates. I'm not going to stand for it.
No.
No, it is very cool that he was in the he's in the ride queue and they have him for that. Sometimes, you think that like these people, I guess it's part of signing on to be in a Marvel project, but you think like, how'd they get this guy? How'd they pay him that, to get him on this Disneyland attraction? But I don't know.
Yeah.
Very well done.
And then like the spider bots in the vents. How cool.
Very cool. And then finally, this brings us to our number one Guardians of the Galaxy mission breakout.
Mm-hmm.
How to remember the whole the whole name there. This one's really well done. Honestly, this would have made the list back when it was Tower of Terror as well. Even more so, in my opinion. I kind of like the queue a little more when it was Tower of Terror. That soundtrack, the lobby, the spider webs and stuff. This one's great as well. Very well done. The collector, he's got the dog in there.
Like all like the different,
Yeah. The aliens hanging.
The only thing where I think like I wish they would have done more of is that main room when you walk in and they're kind of like displaying like what's going on that big screen. That's great. But like once you get past like talking to Rocket and you go start walking through like where the elevator shafts are, I feel like that's where it lacks the theming. And again, that was the same with Tower of Terror because that made sense because it was supposed to be like this service room, right?
So you're in the boiler room. It made sense. That you're right. This kind of feels a little like
it's just not themed.
That's
and
good.
So I wish there was a little bit more, but you can't beat the overall experience of walking into that tower and it's great.
I can hear the
elevator,
the video loop right now. No, I'm hearing the video when it's like ba, ba, and then Benicio del Toro turns
my
around.
mind always goes to it's like raise your hands for entry and it's like ding, 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 ding. Yeah, it's so good.
One other minor complaint, very minor, is that video could be longer because you see it like 8 times when you're in line.
Yeah,
but that's it. Overall, a very good queue.
Mm-hmm.
So that's our list. You've got DCA, Grizzly River Run, Monsters, Inc., Toy Story, Web Slingers, and Guardians. This was easy in a way, very hard in a way.
I think Disneyland's was harder.
Disneyland was really hard. DCA was kind of like there's not much to choose from decent queues.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of outdoor attractions. Just imagine you've got jellyfish. What are they called? Jellyfish. Jumping jellyfish.
And then the other one that we mentioned, or we were going to mention, was Radiator Springs Racers. And we love that ride, but like the queue up until you're about to get on the car, it's very lackluster.
It's
It's very frustrating because that line just loops everywhere.
It keeps going and it's usually hot outside. So that one's all right. But I don't know. Luigi's maybe could have made an argument for that one. That one's a good queue.
It's not like the other ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's our list. Hopefully you had fun following along. Let us know if you have any major disagreements, if we should have mentioned something, if we're forgetting something. That very well could be the case. Let us know over on Instagram what your list looks like. Thank you so much for listening. You can find us over on Instagram and Threads at Market House Podcast. Make sure to follow us over there for pictures from the park and exciting news and announcements. Consider leaving a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Both are a huge help to the show. We have a Patreon, markethousepodcast.com/support is where you can find more information on that, and also linked in the episode description. Remember, use our Getaway Today link for your future trip bookings. Check out the episode details for that link and use code MarketHouse10 to save an additional $10 on your vacation. Join us next week for another episode. It's been grand, it's been fun, it's been filled with Chris Pratt, Tom Holland, and Mickey Mouse.
Bye.